Mike,
Mm-hmm.
Mike, wake up, Mike.
Huh?
Michael, wake up. It's time for the show.
What? What time is it?
It's 8 here. It's 8:00 here. 8:00 p.m.
Okay.
on Friday.
Yeah.
It's our new show time.
Wait a minute. What time? What day is it?
It's Friday. It's our
So,
new
whoa,
show
whoa,
day.
whoa, whoa, whoa. So
and our
I am
new show time.
So I've been here since Wednesday, waiting for you to show up, and this whole time, I've been on here live, waiting for you to show up, and now it's like what? Oh, all suddenly here comes Ricky, everybody's favorite podcaster, and then here I am, asleep on the mic because you didn't show up Wednesday.
Oh, well, my apologies.
Are we?
But I think we should start doing the show like now.
Yeah, let's do it because this went lame.
It's the Speaking Nerdy podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Shilling.
And my friend and compadre, Mr. Ricky Poe. Well, this is new, isn't it?
This is new.
Yeah, I mean, it's like new and
a new bat time and a new bat day, but the same old bat place.
Yeah, the same bat bull. The same bat bull.
Bat guano.
That's right. Well, tonight, well, we're going to ponder what if.
What if?
What if? Yeah, it was out like, I know it's been out for a while, and because we like to watch things 5 times in a row. Actually, I stayed up. Hey, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And so, that's right there. So, we're going to talk about our impressions. We're going to give a review of it. If you haven't seen it yet, and if you have seen it, we want your feedback. You can agree with us, not agree, but one of our favorite people on the show.
Adria or Adria? Adria?
We do this all the time. I think it's Adria.
Ms.
Adria.
Roach. We'll go Adria.
Adria.
Hello, Adria.
Yes. So, so it's our new time.
New day.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna see how this works out.
I don't have to go to work the very next day. I can drink my Red Bull and make it through the show. So, and I have to worry about 3:00 in the morning, still awake, wondering when I'm going to go to sleep because I got to go to work. So, good stuff. Oh, by the way,
and it's a little bit later in the evening, so you have more time to get home, get situated before the show starts.
Get your little jammies on with some popcorn, get all comfy, and then there you are. Turn on Mike and Ricky.
I don't know how many of you realize there were some nights where Mike was basically just sliding into the chair just before the show.
Yes, exactly.
Exhausted because he had been up since 5 in the morning already.
Exactly.
And then we do an hour and a half long show.
Oh, man. So hopefully this will work out. Thank you, everyone, for participating tonight. Yeah.
If this is your first time to watch, definitely like, share, comment, and we'll put your comments down below. Hey there,
Daryl, thank you for showing up. Hey, besides our comment man, we forgot a good friend of ours. He's our comment man. He's also our Florida correspondent, the one and only Mr. Todd V, the Florida man. There he is right there. What up? DHS is on their way. So anyway, welcome, Todd. And very gangster of you tonight. Looking very dapper.
Well, I figured it was better than this.
No, actually, I like that. It looks like you're like
okay, well,
it looked like you're like this neighborhood watch guardian group.
Cool. Yeah.
You know.
All right. So
So go ahead. Sorry, Ricky. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that the hat is going weird, all beret-ish on us. So we've got some people watching on Facebook, but I just checked our info.
Yeah.
It says somebody is watching us on Twitch.
Yes.
And somebody is watching us on YouTube.
Oh.
So if you're watching us on YouTube or on Twitch, definitely make a comment. I would love to hear from you.
Yes.
Let us know where you're watching from.
Yeah.
We don't get that many viewers from Twitch and YouTube on the live side.
But
most of our viewers are live on Facebook, so I'm just curious who out there is watching.
Yeah,
us.
and please subscribe while you're at it. So that would help
Absolutely.
us. Yes. Like and subscribe. So this is going to be fun tonight. We have a lot of stuff going on besides Frenchie below us here. That didn't sound right. But anyhow, we're going to talk about, the nerdy happenings of the week. Idris says, I watch youtube.tv. Comment on Facebook. Awesome.
Oh, so
that is awesome.
That's funny.
Brilliant. Yeah. That is brilliant. So we got a lot to talk about tonight. Let's go ahead and get to the nerdy happenings of the week.
Sure.
Let's go ahead. So today was Disney Plus Day, but it was kind of it wasn't a whole lot going on today.
Almost a letdown. A letdown to me.
I mean, if we were looking at stuff at the last minute, and the best thing that I saw that was the Willow promo, which was basically Warwick from Willow. Hilarious. He's such a funny guy. And then they had if you have Disney Plus, they basically, how long is the whole thing? It's just a really
it's not a thing.
Yeah, it's not.
There's a couple of little featurettes for a couple of shows. There's like a 1 minute little thing on Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
which shows almost nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you over here so that way we can look at each other.
Okay,
I don't know.
That works.
Because oh, you're looking nice now. Oh.
But so the Obi-Wan thing is almost a non-event.
Yeah.
There is this is kind of new. Shang-Chi dropped. That's exciting.
That
Shang-Chi
is exciting.
Is on Disney Plus now.
Yes.
There is a 20-minute featurette on Boba Fett. It's not about the book of Boba Fett, not about the making of the show.
Oh, by the way,
about Boba Fett in general.
Rob Jensen, is he? He's a new. I have not seen Rob before. Rob Jensen. Welcome to the program. Am I wrong or am I right? He's a. Thank you, Ricky, for having my back. No, just kidding.
Rob, good to have you.
Rob, good to have you.
I don't remember the name either.
No, Rob, thank you for and I just wanted to pay attention and make sure we say hello to all the new folks that comes on because anyway, because
absolutely
second time. That's right.
Great to have you, Rob. So Shang-Chi dropped. There is a 20-minute Boba Fett featurette that goes all the way back to looking at 1978 when Boba Fett first showed up.
Oh wow!
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But then there's a 5-minute little deal about. Oh, he brought up NFTs last time.
Oh,
I remember that.
Now I remember.
Well, it's been a couple of weeks since we had a show.
Yeah, that's right.
We've been talking about moving things around and shuffling things. So, so there's a 5-minute thing from Pixar, and they announce a couple of little things.
Yeah.
There's going to be a new Cars series.
I saw that. Yeah.
But not a whole lot else there. And then there's a 15-minute thing from Marvel.
Yeah.
But the first half of it is just recapping what we've already seen.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it, there's a first look for Moon Knight. There's a first look for She-Hulk and a first,
but not a trailer. It's not
Ms.
a trailer.
Marvel.
Yeah,
not trailers. They're almost like small clips from the shows, but not quite. And they're like a minute. No longer than a minute. And then the rest of it's basically announcing a bunch of things we already knew about.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing, a couple of things that are new that they announced, I thought were kind of interesting, were there is going to be they've formally said there will be a Loki season 2. That's not a surprise. We knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, that's.
What If is going to have a second season. Everybody was pretty convinced that was going to happen, but it wasn't really guaranteed.
Yeah, because it was kind of I mean, the ratings were kind of all over the. Mainly hit sixes and sevens was what it was hitting. So
it was good. It wasn't a home run. It was a good base hit for Marvel.
Exactly. Yeah.
But at the same time, it all kind of wrapped itself up. It didn't have to have a second season to make sense.
Yeah.
But it looks like we're going to get a second season, and they listed a bunch of things we already knew about. One thing I saw was Echo. Echo is a spinoff from Hawkeye, the upcoming Hawkeye series that starts in just a couple of weeks. There is going to be a Spider-Man freshman year. It appears to be a 2D animated series that's going to harken back to the art style of the 1960s Spider-Man comics.
Yeah.
And kind of the big thing that got almost no attention is Agatha, House of Harkness. Agatha Harkness is getting her own show.
And we heard about this. This is something that's been talked about.
Rumored.
But,
it had been rumored.
But it's official now.
It's official, and it's going to happen. I think that's a pretty huge deal.
I think so.
They gave almost no information on.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Yeah. No, they did. They did have an extended footage of Hawkeye. The scene that we're in the car.
There's a new trailer. That's right.
And
There's
I thought,
a new 4-minute trailer snippet from the movie. It looks really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. You have to, if you want to bypass all the stuff, you have to. If you're on Disney Plus, it's like what timestamp is it on? It's like
if you skip to about 7 minutes and 45 seconds, the Hawkeye trailer starts, and that's all the new stuff.
Yeah, Daryl McCarty. I can't wait for it. Same here. I look forward myself.
Two other things that I think are going to be cool, or at least interesting. Marvel Zombies is going to get a series. I don't know why that's happening.
What are they going to do? Is like a Night of the Living Dead? Or are they going to continue what happened on What If, and those are the main survivors?
I don't know if they're going to continue it, or if they're going to start the story from the beginning.
From the beginning.
That's hard. I'm not sure where that's going.
Yeah, that's
the other thing that is kind of interesting, cool, maybe. X-Men 97. And though there's little information on it, but from what I'm reading, it is going to basically continue the 90s series of the X-Men cartoons.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome.
That could
awesome.
be really
that could
cool.
be good. I'm glad that Disney is starting up some X-Men stuff.
Hey, Todd,
Daryl just commented on something I've been wanting to bring up.
Yes.
Hold that up, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a little. There you go. Yeah, there you go.
So, was that a toilet mug?
Andrea,
Yes, Andrea.
Exactly what that
toilet
is.
mug.
Yes. Yes.
So
if I'm not sitting on it, I'm facing it. So.
A couple of other things I did want to just briefly mention.
Yes, sir.
There is a rumor that Henry Cavill, has been at the very least, he is interested in playing a Captain Britain, which could be brilliant.
It could be. Yes.
And Marvel has been known to talk to lots of actors about little things, just to bring them in and say, hey, we've thought about this. Would you be interested in something like this? So it's unclear as to whether Marvel has had any conversations with him or if he's just dropping the hints.
You know, what's interesting about that, I was going to bring up an article and I thought, not really. I'll wait on that. But again, Henry Cavill was talking about how he would be interested playing Superman again. And then a couple of days later, I read about Captain Britain, and I thought, wow. And what's interesting in his thought about, what happened in Zack Snyder's Superman, where killing Zod, And for him, that was a place where, well, that was a starting point. After that, he would never kill again. So in his mind, that was the reasoning. I know we're getting into something else, but it's interesting that Henry Cavill has really been thinking about that character and how he feels like he could make it evolve. So I think he was a good Superman. I enjoyed him as Superman, but Captain Britain, that would be awesome.
That would be great.
I would.
Daryl's asking a question here. I don't know the answer. Any news on Henry Cavill? I'm not sure how to pronounce his name.
And
Mass Effect.
Oh no, this is new to me, and that would be awesome. Him playing Sam Shepard. Daryl, is that any information? What little information do you have for us? If I'd known that, I had bring you on the show. But yeah.
Now, the other thing I thought was interesting, in that Henry Cavill thing.
Yeah.
Cavill. Okay, so he's British.
Yeah. Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in this short interview I saw, when he said he would be interested in playing Captain Britain,
yeah,
he said because he really likes playing a British person. Because apparently he has to keep playing Americans.
Exactly.
He just gets all these jobs as American.
Daryl McCarty
would like to.
Daryl McCarty said he was rumored to it and posted a photo reading a script last year.
I have not heard about this. That's interesting. I would.
You know, the thing about Henry Cavill, and I'll say Cavill, is that he's a big gamer. He's a WoW gamer too, and
apparently he builds his
own
PCs.
Actually, he was in the middle of doing that when he had a phone call, I think, from Snyder about playing the role of Superman, and he ignored it because he thought it was a prank. And then finally, the next day, they called, and yeah, he's a nerd, and
yes.
And I haven't been watching The Witcher, but I like to start watching it. I've never got into it. I played the game some, but anyway, the guy is, let's say he has a good following, and he's not afraid of different characters. But it's funny how he's kind of gravitated to kind of the fantasy and the video game genre type of stuff. So I think that's pretty cool.
Two more things I want to bring up real quick, Mike. One is they dropped a new Book of Boba Fett trailer last week or the week before. Looks really, really good.
Yeah.
Definitely an interesting take on Boba Fett.
Yeah.
He basically says he is no longer a bounty hunter, whatever that means.
Yeah, there was I was looking over it, and it's kind of like it almost feel like the Star Wars Godfather series,
yes.
He returns a Jabba's palace, he made a comment in it, and I wrote it down. It said, Jabba rules with fear. I intend to rule with respect. So that's interesting.
Yes.
And so, and the whole idea of the family, figure out who's his friend and foes. So it's interesting. I look forward to it.
So one last thing I want to bring up.
Yeah.
And I didn't mention it to you before the show.
Yes.
And I wanted to mention it to you right now.
Yes.
Did you realize this is our show anniversary?
That's right. Wow. That's right.
This is the start of season 5.
Really? This is season 5. Yes, we got to change the number now.
I did. I changed it today.
You did.
When I posted it.
Season 5.
We have been doing this off and on for 5 or 6 years now.
I can't believe that.
That's
insane.
Crazy.
Insane. Anyway. We haven't been banned yet. Man,
we still have people that watch.
I know. You think by now we would have been,
they would have learned. It doesn't get any better.
It doesn't. This is it. Put your bets away.
Anyway, I thought I would bring that up. That this is the day we say is our anniversary, because I don't know that we really are firmly know exactly when we did our first episode.
Yeah, we have lost audio somewhere, but yeah.
Well, our first episode was truly lost because we forgot to hit record.
And it was like and that was the best episode we've ever done. I mean, seriously, I think it was one of our best.
It was so fun. It was so fun.
And then we looked at each other. Did you record it? Did you record it?
Were we supposed to be recording?
Exactly.
This is long before we were doing things live, and it was just me and Mike and a couple of microphones and sitting in his house.
That's right.
Having some fun.
Getting all goofy.
A billion years ago, my friend.
I did find some information on Henry Cavill.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
It seems that the theory is he's either going to be in a movie or he's voicing a character in the game.
In the game is likely. In the game is
Commander.
Yeah.
Being a voice actor for a game that makes perfect sense to not have huge, and to not have huge news about it already.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If he's reading a script, for a movie, I would expect it to be big news.
So that could be it, Daryl.
Yeah. There's a couple things I want to hit on real quick because I am a Ghostbusters fan. A trailer came out. The Ghostbuster trailer came out a couple of days ago.
I have not seen the new trailer.
It's the new trailer, and the best part of the trailer is that right close to the end, this scene comes up just like this, and this scene basically says, you can hear Bill Murray's voice as Venkman saying, "You miss us," and I got so I'm a big Ghostbusters fan. I grew up, went to the movie theaters when it came out, so I'm looking forward to it. I think it's coming out I think next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it? I had the dates wrong at one time.
Well, they've changed it.
Many times.
They've changed it. It's the same thing with Marvel. I think they've backed up some of the stuff on Marvel too.
I was gonna say we didn't really make an announcement about that, but a bunch of movies got changed around. It's a little unclear as to why. Some speculation as to lowering competition.
Yeah.
Which is kind of that's right now the way movies are. You don't want any competition in the theater at all when you release your movie.
No,
because there's just not enough people going. Adria says yes, missed Dr. Venkman.
I love Dr. Venkman. Yes,
with you on that.
So the release. Trying to look for the release date, but someone out there knows the release date. Put it in the comments, and we'll announce it. So awesome. And then not only that, and the next is, I thought that was interesting. This was from Spider-Man No Way Home. This was an interview with Tom Holland, and I'm going to read exactly what Tom Holland said in the interview, which I think is interesting. I'm going to go ahead and close this. Spider-Man No Way Home is promising to be a darker than we're used to, despite the promised multiverse roller coaster ride. Tom Holland said in an interview with Total Film. He said, what people will be really surprised about is that it's not fun. This film, he says, Holland said, it's dark, it's sad, and it's going to be really affecting. He said, you're going to see characters that you love go through things that you would never wish for them to go through. He said, I was just really excited to kind of lean into this side of Peter Parker. And then he said, Peter Parker is always someone who's looking up. He always really positive, Holland continued, whereas in this film, he feels like he's met his match. And then he says, thanks to all, Holland says this is going to be the best MCU Spider-Man film yet. And so anyway, and that comes out still December the 17th this year.
And I'm honestly expecting this whole next series of films to be a darker
I do too.
Marvel than we're used to.
I think so. I really do. Which is interesting because that is not what the mainstream is used to. So it's going to be interesting how they go with that. I mean, Sony, their franchise of their Marvel, it's really dark because
it's always been dark and gritty.
Yeah,
That's
so
kind of
yeah. And Spider-Man, for the most part, has always been that way, except for the Marvel universe here recently. Let me see here.
Since he came to the MCU. Yeah, Afterlife is confirmed release November 19th. So that is next Friday.
Okay, good. Thank you. Next Friday. I look forward to that.
Thank you, Florida Man.
And of course we have, that's playing now, which
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, and we'll do next Friday will be our review of it and our thoughts about it. Am I right, or is there something else going on? No, we have something in on the schedule because we kind of got a little bit behind here. Behind.
I haven't looked.
We'll let you know, folks. Make sure we didn't have anything else going on. Now we will be doing just kind of a surprise for you guys. We will do an episode by episode review of Boba Fett coming up in the end of. Go ahead.
Okay, I will say we originally had Disney Plus Day scheduled for the next episode, but Disney Plus Day is kind of such a non-event,
been kind of a bust,
that I don't think we would do it. So yeah, let's do Shang-Chi next week.
Let's do that. Yes.
Didn't it feel like they just kind of threw that together at the last minute?
Yeah, it wasn't like it used to be. I mean, I think last time it was such a big event, and it just they video. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's a little different. Okay, so I think this is what happened. Last year, they didn't have an investor day.
Yeah.
In the summer.
Okay. Yeah.
And they did everything in one big event in December on Disney Plus Day. So this year, it's only Disney Plus. That's why there are no movie releases. There's no film going to the theater releases today, because this is all about what's coming to Disney Plus only. So I think they just decided there wasn't enough that they could show yet, which they didn't.
They didn't.
Like all those, there's like, I don't know, 7 or 8 more Marvel shows that I didn't talk about, that all they did was show the title.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's not even, they didn't even give us new release dates.
No, they didn't.
So I don't even know. I think some of those are probably 2023 releases.
I totally agree. Yeah, totally agree. Well, I think, on that sense, I think we, before we get in some what if, let's go ahead and let's do some stupid news.
Shall we?
Let's do that.
All right. I'm trying to stall because I can't find the video. There it is.
There it is.
It's the Weird and Stupid News with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
One thing I hate more than anything else is false advertising.
When I can't find the video?
You can't find the video, and then we refer to the show in the intro as our previous name. But what I really don't like is fast. No, you didn't do that. That's something I do. I just threw that in there. But one thing I is false advertising, and apparently, apparently Elizabeth Russet feels the same way. She's very frustrated. New York woman is very unhappy with the lack of strawberries in her Pop-Tarts.
With the lack of strawberries in her Pop-Tarts.
Yes.
What does she mean? Like, I mean, they're Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
For, I don't know, what, 40 years?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
60 years? I don't know how old Pop-Tarts are.
I haven't noticed anything change.
They've had red goo in them.
Red goo, yes.
That they call strawberry.
Yeah. Well, apparently she is suing Kellogg's company that makes the toaster pastry. Apparently, Kellogg's is being accused of misleading consumers about what is actually inside those delectable rectangular, sugary, sealed goodness. Yes. This is, of course, coming to by TMZ, where I got where they have like.
I don't think we've ever quoted TMZ before.
That's funny.
TMZ has arrived.
We're moving up in the world.
We have moved up. We got you covered, TMZ. There you go. Oh man, I figured you would like that. Elizabeth Russet is leading the charge against the company, alleging that the fruit field in their whole grain frosted strawberry toaster pastry is heavy on pears and apples, but stingy on actual berries, reported to the site. Russet adds that the amount of strawberries that are said to be in the Pop-Tarts is not enough to provide, get this, to provide nutritional benefits.
Because I look for the number one thing I look for out of my Pop-Tarts
I
is
want
nutritional
nutrition. That's
benefits.
Right. That's why I make sure I put I get the ones with the frosting on it, because I want to make sure I don't. Yeah.
This is how nutritional I want my Pop-Tarts. Number one, if they're not frosted, they're not Pop-Tarts.
They're not Pop-Tarts.
And number two, that edge, that doesn't actually get frosting on.
Yes.
Yeah, that could just go in the trash.
Yeah. That's just like trimming. It's
cut that part off. I really only want frosting and goo. I really don't even want the tart.
Exactly. Russet claims that Kellogg's packaging is a big scam. They are tricking strawberry lovers customers into buying breakfast items for strawberry content. She says she's suing for a damage above, get this, $5 million. And she's also asking Kellogg's to label the Pop-Tarts more accurately. But I think the $5 million she's more concerned about than labeling it accurately.
How many Pop-Tarts is that? $5 million.
I don't know, but
that is a bunch of Pop-Tarts. I don't know. They're like $5 or $6 a box. That's like a million
we got a new
boxes.
Commenter.
Yeah, we got a new one. Yeah.
Pop-Tart
that up.
Hey, Gilly, good to have you.
Welcome. Yes, rest in peace, Stan Lee. How you doing, sir? Thank you for joining.
Good to have you on the show.
So the Food Corporation, which has a stranglehold in the cereals aisle, they have made no comment. But my question is, what's next? It's like Raisin lovers emptying all their boxes and measuring if there's 2 scoops, or if, or something like, I don't know, the lack of magically delicious marshmallows and Lucky Charms. I mean, what's going to happen next? So I don't know either.
I mean, those rainbows are just not real.
They're not.
They're made out of marshmallows. They're not, real rainbows made out of light.
Exactly. And also,
the Lucky Charms are not really lucky.
No, they're not.
No.
They got stuck in my nose one time and I almost passed out. So, yeah, they're not very lucky at all.
Clover got green.
Exactly. Don't snort Lucky Charms, okay? I don't care what they do on TikTok. Don't do it. Police in Colorado, a Colorado man set home ablaze. A Colorado man was arrested after investigators said that he set his house on fire, his mother's house on fire, while trying to get rid of cobwebs with a blowtorch.
Oh my gosh.
Are you sure this isn't from Florida?
No, not this time. Why? I thought I would give Florida a rest.
The number, can I just stop you for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead.
The number of times on this show,
yes,
we have discussed someone trying to clean their house with fire.
Yes, is
slightly above normal.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. But anyway, the Boulder Daily Camera reports the 39-year-old man was taken into custody. He faces several charges, including first-degree arson. No one was injured. That's a good thing. Investigators said the man acknowledged spiders. Yes, the man acknowledged using a blowtorch to clear cobwebs in the crawl spaces under the home, and he tried to put them out for an hour before calling an emergency crews. So yeah.
At what point did you realize you had lost control?
I don't know. Yeah. So apparently, the blaze caused $100,000 of damage. But anyway, the next is that I don't know
the cobwebs, right?
Exactly. Marathon runners, they're all about, doing their very personal best. It's something they trained every year. It's a serious competition, especially for Tamara Torkelson. It was her first time running since she's given birth to her daughter last year. She's running the Mountain 2 Beach Marathon, which is her sixth race. It's about 26.2 miles distance, and it was back in 2018. And situation happened. Well, about halfway through the race, she realized she needed to do something, and how she handled it was unusual, by pooping in her pants. Yes, she believed that it served her well. She decided that the best thing to do was to meet her personal goal was to defecate in her running shorts. She said, "I personally would not want." She said that she said it was well deserved. She said to achieve my personal record, and I would have in my running circles. And personally, I would not want to be in her running circles, especially in the rear. The Mountain 2 Beach Marathon. She thought that she could set her personal record, and I guess about 13th and 14th mile, she decided to alleviate herself. And
I'm gonna go ahead and say that
yes.
I believe at that point she probably developed a very sizable lead.
Yes, she probably did.
Yes.
But the next one is, we always like to end it, and I try to keep it down, but this one I had to add on the end. Apparently, the art is or beauty and art is in the eye of beholder in this situation. It's very clear. But for Milton Wainwright, who runs a Woodville Organ Museum in New Zealand and a volunteer caretaker for the Mawatsi George Reserve, apparently he has been charged with chopping off the penis of a carving with a chainsaw after the man deemed it immoral. Yes. Apparently this man right here, he found that the statue, well, it was not very moral to him. He was complaining to the council for a very long time that this statue needed to be removed. Milton Wainwright previously earned praise for his volunteer work, but now says the community has turned against him over his act of allegedly vandalism. Wainwright complained that previously to the local council about the immoral nature of the statue, then allegedly took matters into his own hands by trying to cut off the penis with a handsaw. He also
wait. He tried.
And
I just realized you said he was arrested for using a chainsaw.
Yes.
So he attempted this multiple times.
Yes. Well, apparently when he used the chainsaw, the wood was too hard.
Really?
So,
really?
Did you write that?
We're going with that joke.
Did you write that?
So wait, I just read the news, people. I just read the news.
That's in the article.
I just read the news.
Oh my God.
I just read the news. Don't hate the caster, hate the news. Okay.
Oh, man.
I just report what I read on the news.
I'm done.
Gilly's got a comment. I'm not sure if I can put it up. Daryl's laughing.
Oh my God.
Can you guys see? Can you guys see Gilly's comment?
Let me take a look.
No,
let's
is
take Gilly.
Is it appropriate to show on Are we gonna get? Are we gonna get taken off the show?
I don't think I can.
You can't.
Oh no! Yeah,
no,
oh
we
my
can't
goodness.
do that. Never mind. No, we can't. That's
Gilly. That's
clever.
funny. That's really funny. That might get us dinged.
Yeah, it's on
on Facebook.
But because of that, he returned the next day with a chainsaw. He said he was been charged with willful damage over the alleged act of vandalism.
Oh my gosh.
Wainwright has been banned from the natural site for 2 years by the Department of Conservation due to the court in July, and hoping to prevent any more castrated statues. And that was stupid news.
This has been the Weird and Stupid News with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling. I almost forgot to unmute myself.
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh, I still just ooh. Okay, so I just to add on to this,
yes.
So he only got banned vandalism. Yes. He only got banned for 2 years.
Yes.
I shot a music video on federal property.
Yes.
And I got banned from shooting video on federal property for 5 years.
Yes, you're on the most wanted list. Yes.
I'm past that now. I could go.
Well, that's good. That's
federal
good.
Property again, but
good thing you can admit that and get on with your life to be a productive citizen.
Yes.
But now for what everybody's been waiting for, I guess I'm hoping is what if, and I'm gonna let you put that out, my friend.
What if?
What if? Yes. So what do you think? What do you think of the What If series?
I really enjoyed What If. I don't know. I actually remember reading the comics when I was a kid. I had some.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got any of them anymore.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that I have any comics from actually when I was a kid, which makes me a little sad. Most of the comics I own were purchased later.
Yeah.
As I had gotten into college. But I had some What If comics back in the day. I really enjoyed them. They were fun. They were weird. You know, you got to see matchups that you would never see.
Yeah.
And this What If was a little different because initially I thought it was going to be individual episodes that were completely unrelated, much like the comic book.
Exactly.
You know, and but they decided this is going to be kind of Marvel Cinematic Universe canon-ish.
Well, you know, and what's interesting to me, it's in the beginning you would never guessed it.
No.
It's just kind of, I think maybe the last 3 episodes at least, you started noticing that. Todd, how
kind of evolved.
Todd, I was curious about our Florida man. What's your thoughts? How did you feel about the entire series as a whole?
I actually really enjoyed it. I like the concept of mixing everything up.
Yeah.
And like you said, when we were getting towards the end, it's like there's a thread.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to see where it went, and to me, to have the watcher decide to intervene was
that was a big thing.
Pretty powerful.
That really is. Because I mean, even in the comic book series, correct me if I'm wrong, the Watcher is just an observer. I mean,
he is supposed to observe only.
Yes,
he has intervened from time to time
in the comics. Okay,
and you know, in different various forms. You know, there's always the question of if the Watcher shows up and just stands there, is his simple being there enough that he has intervened?
Yeah.
You know, that's always it's like, okay, you're not intervening. Yeah, you're kind of intervening. You showed up and everybody knows you're there. And that means that everybody knows something bad's about to happen. The one thing I'm glad they didn't do is there's a comic series where the Watcher is actually murdered. Uatu is actually murdered in this comic series. I was kind of afraid they were going to do that they were going to go through this original sin, which is the series, and the whole thing was, you know, Nick, if you're, this is a little bit of a spoiler if you're going to read the original sin series from Marvel, but it's, I don't know, like 5 or 6 years old now. But you know, you find out that Nick Fury actually murdered Uatu, and there's some weird reasons for it. There. Anyway, I was really hopeful they weren't going to do that, and they definitely didn't. They definitely went a different direction. And the idea that basically they call back all the little things that were important in all the different episodes when they wrap it up at the end.
Yeah.
But honestly, the thing I think is almost cooler is that each of the episodes, they would take little things from the movies, from the original movies.
Yeah, exactly.
And just
tweak it.
Just kind of play around with them just a little bit. You know, we've got, we've got Captain Carter.
Yes.
Captain Britain.
Exactly.
Kind of. And we've got this situation where it's like, okay, what do we do with her and
Steve Rogers? What do you do?
Yeah, and Steve Rogers, and something goes wrong, and it's Steve Rogers is unable to go in, so she jumps in so that somebody will be there.
Exactly.
And one of the things that one of the big bosses complains about is, I wanted a real soldier.
Yeah, exactly.
You gave me a woman.
Exactly.
And in the movie, he always complained about, what you're giving me this guy, the
skinny
Rogers
guy,
kid, skinny guy. So it's like we take this little idea, we just twist it just enough. And all of them did things like that.
I think one of my favorite ones, and again, even rest in peace, because even if he was still alive, I would say this, but Chadwick Boseman, he was just awesome in it, and I think it was one of my favorites where he's Star-Lord. And at first, when I heard that he was going to be Star-Lord, I thought, really? But it was really fun because they took you through, especially in the very beginning, because when Chris Pratt played in Guardian of the Galaxy in the very beginning, who's Star-Lord? But it's totally different.
And he is T'Challa. He is T'Challa being Star-Lord.
Yeah, he's not.
He's not Chadwick Boseman trying to be, the Star-Lord from the MCU.
Exactly. His morals and his compass is all there. I really like the character, and I love Rondo. I love the relationship between really a father and son relationship. I liked how they accidentally, his guys picked up the wrong guy, the wrong kid, and they're both, they look nothing alike. Well, they have an ear hole, a mouth hole. They
look exactly the same. All
and then
Earth people look the same.
And then Peter Quill works at a Dairy Queen mopping the floors. That's ingenious. I like that. But one thing I've learned through this, especially with the first one with Captain Carter as the first Avenger, is that we had a lot of actors in this, but some of them are not voice actors.
No,
there are some.
Can we skip to this one right here?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I really like him as an actor.
I do too. Yes.
He is not a voice actor.
No, he's not.
Cumberbatch is not a voice actor. It's so bad.
It is bad.
Oh, wait now. Wait. I got to defend my boy.
Go ahead.
He did a really good job as Smaug.
Oh. Okay. I'll buy that one. But he did not do well.
No, he phoned that in.
No. But the guy who played Bucky Barnes, especially in Captain America, which is Sebastian.
Yeah, Sebastian Stan.
He didn't do a very good job either. Not in the first.
Was it actually Sebastian Stan in
the first
What
one?
If? In What If?
Well, now he was later on when he played the Winter Soldier. You could hear his voice on it. He is on that list.
Because some of the characters are the originals and some are not.
Yeah, like the Black Widow is not. Natasha is not played by Scarlett Johansson. Yeah. So that makes me wonder. I want to look at the IDBM. It's a medication. It's wearing off. But yeah.
Who's going to bring up Goldilocks?
I love I love Party Thor. Okay,
Party
man.
Thor, Party
Thor.
Thor.
It's just so funny,
That was hysterical.
I loved it. That was like the funniest one, and
that one came out, and so many people were like, "That was horrible. Why did that even?" Somebody on one of the groups I was in was like, "That was the worst episode. I would rather them have focused on the thing that happened at the very end. That was interesting." And then the next 2 episodes happen, which are exactly that. Exactly. But so I thought this one was kind of cool.
It was like I loved it. It was like a whodunit.
Yes, where they kept killing off the Avengers, and you find out Hank Pym has just gone nuts and is killing off everybody. And this was another one of those. There were several kind of running gags.
Yeah.
Some were more prevalent than others.
Yeah.
In this, Hope Van Dyne becomes a significant player multiple times, but not in every episode, and I'm not sure why. It's we had this idea, but we didn't quite fulfill it.
But it's funny, the Van Dyne family, I mean, it seemed like they had a big influence in this whole thing.
They did.
Yeah.
But then, there's the weirdness where they kept killing Tony Stark.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Over
and over
again.
Maybe because they're mad because Robert Downey Jr. left. Maybe they're mad about that. I don't know.
I don't know.
But I thought it was funny.
So
yes. Yeah. I mean, he was the weakest link. The one that's supposed to be the leader and of the group, the weakest link.
And to come back to, and speaking of, when Uatu the Watcher gets his multiverse of Guardians of the Multiverse together,
that's what he calls them.
He specifically tells Tony Stark, "No, not you."
Exactly.
Yeah, you're great and all.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, you're great and all, Tony, but I don't want you. I want him.
Exactly.
Or her. I don't remember who
he's version of Groundhog Day.
That's exactly right. Well, yes. especially with Doctor Strange, and that's what actually I put that in my notes. It was like Groundhog Day. Everything he did didn't matter whether she was in a car accident, someone was going to poison her, somebody was going to shoot her. It was going to happen no matter what.
As much as I complain about Benedict Cumberbatch's voice acting in that episode, that episode is really good.
I really like that episode.
The storyline is really good. The outcome is super dark and weird.
Yeah.
And then how it connects in the end, because I never imagined that would happen in the end. And then they had Natasha, the Black Widow, and it's almost like in that one episode where the Ultron episode, where he wins, and the only people left, from my understanding, is Natasha and
Bart.
Clint.
Barton.
Yeah. And so
on their world,
yes.
Yeah.
And then go ahead.
What about, kind of jumping back, what did you think of Marvel Zombies?
It was like an animated Walking Dead, but honestly, it was dark and it had humor. I loved the zombie video that Peter was trying to create.
Yes,
and I loved Happy. Happy was great in it.
That he's creating YouTube videos on how to survive the zombie apocalypse.
I just thought that was just
because he wants to help people.
Yeah,
it was brilliant.
The zombie one reminded me of the King in Black series. It's kind of like they did with the symbiotes when they took all the Marvel superheroes got assimilated, which is a board comment, but you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The guy
very
from
that.
Well, the guy from Ant-Man who basically played the what was he? He always talked about Baba Yaga, which is the witch, that was in the Ant-Man, and of course he ended up Oh, my favorite thing was Scott. He was
Yes.
the head. It was just
totally a call to Futurama that he's a head in a jar.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. I was like, did they just decide this was funny? Or did somebody go, hey, you know, there's this really weird thing in Futurama. We need to do that.
It's so funny that the survivors, all of this is the Cape.
Yeah.
The Cape had a big role.
And that the Cape the Cape attaches himself to Scott's head. So he's like Scott's head and a cape. It's
so you had and then you had Peter, and then it was T'Challa, and they fly to Wakanda. Of course, there's Thanos zombie with the Infinity Stones waiting for him.
So what do you think of Marvel Zombies as a show? It's going to be a show. Do you think it's going to? Or do you think it's going to pick up where it left off here, or do you think we're going to get the backstory of what happened before this?
Oh yeah,
I mean, they could do the backstory, but I don't know. It's like it's really odd that they're going to do. It's all they're going to do this anyhow. To me, but
yes, I agree. I know this was the one announcement that I was like, huh?
Well, and also keep in mind, a lot of the zombies of the Avengers, they were killed, you know, during those episodes. So how are you going to carry on unless you're just going to talk about the surviving Avengers ending up, unless we'll have nothing to do with this. They're going to start
they could just start from scratch, a whole new series.
I don't know.
The other option is start bringing in tons and tons of other Marvel characters that you've never shown in the Marvel universe.
Exactly.
Because Marvel has, you know, hundreds of superheroes they could use if they wanted to.
I mean, you could do where the Avengers are trying to figure out how to deal with the zombie apocalypse. It would have to be done well. I mean, it's a total different multiverse, but I don't know. I don't know.
I want to see the zombie guy with the codpiece gun.
I don't. That's
Codpiece Man. I thought Codpiece Man was DC.
Was
he Marvel? I don't know. I never can remember.
I don't know.
Well,
but what do you think? Know. But I loved Party Thor. I loved how they called his mom to come back. You know, his mom was on. It's kind of like having a party at the house, and he's trying to get all his friends to clean up before mom gets home. And then when she gets back,
you've got to help me. They've called my mom.
You know, and they're all, you know, and like Loki, you know, they're all like frat brothers, you know.
You are a brother from another mother.
It's not my mother. So,
oh my god,
I thought it was very clever. I liked it. There's some that I go, but
some were definitely better. Some episodes were definitely better.
Some was better than the others. What do you think about the Warmonger, man? I'm telling you what, that guy, Killmonger, he
Killmonger was an interesting character, and you know, I was kind of like, okay, what are they? I was a little conflicted about this episode.
Yeah, I was too,
because it was like, okay, what? I don't even remember what the episode's called. What is it called? What if Killmonger
rescues Tony Stark?
Rescues Tony. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the premise. What if he rescues Tony Stark? Well, my brain said, okay, that's the title. So we're going to get Killmonger, who's a good guy.
Yeah.
But we don't.
No, we don't.
We have the same exact Killmonger.
Yeah.
We just have him in a different storyline.
Exactly.
He's still a jerk, which is different because most of the other ones, it's like, you know, Captain Carter, she basically becomes a different person.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, my brain, Steve Rogers becomes the first Iron Man. You know, T'Challa.
Yeah, the Hydra Stomper. Yeah.
T'Challa is still T'Challa, but he is definitely Star-Lord. This is a different Star-Lord.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we've got, you know, what if we lost the mightiest heroes? That one's kind of, everybody's kind of who they are. They just get killed.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we definitely get a different Doctor Strange. You know, the Marvel Zombies is weird. We get a different kind of Thor because he didn't have a brother that picked on him.
That's right. Yeah.
But then we get Killmonger that's just he's just kind of Killmonger. He just in a different spot.
Well, and he kind of carries that in a couple of episodes that he's in. You know, you think about it. Even,
even in the end, when he doesn't fight the what do you call Ultron? What is he? He's the Infinity Ultron.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't fight the Infinity Ultron to beat him because he doesn't want his world destroyed.
No,
he fights him because he wants to be him.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of a weird deal. And then the whole, okay, we're gonna make we've got this time bubble that Doctor Strange is stuck in.
Yeah, exactly.
Spoiler alert if you haven't watched What If. And we're just gonna lock Ultron and Killmonger away forever.
Yeah.
By the way, Doctor Strange, I know you're stuck in here. It sucks, but why don't you watch over this ball for us?
Yeah, exactly.
For all eternity.
Exactly. You know, one character I kind of, it was a running joke in it, and I really enjoyed, one of my favorites, and I really enjoyed it, was the T'Challa becoming Star-Lord. I think that was kind of one of my funnest besides the Thor, as far as fun goes, because I really liked, the redeemed Thor. He said, they always says, wait a minute, that's genocide. So, oh, not genocide. It's just random and effective, he talked about, and
you mean you said Thor.
No, Thanos. I'm sorry, Thanos.
Yes.
I want to say
yes,
Thor.
We get a good Thanos.
Yes,
a redeemed Thanos.
Yes,
which
exactly.
is fascinating. A friend of mine who does another podcast.
Yeah,
I was listening to his episode on that episode, and he had gone into the other room to do something and came back and heard Thanos like chumming up with everybody. He's like, what am I watching?
Exactly. Yeah.
And it is such a bizarre thing. It's like,
yeah,
happy-go-lucky. But he still kind of has this idea that, destroying half the universe isn't a bad idea. It kind of is.
It's effective, though.
It's so funny. It's like, I'm not going to do it.
Didn't somebody say, instead of using the Infinity Stones to get rid of half the people, couldn't you just made more resources?
I think somebody calls him out.
I think that's in there somewhere. So it was.
Oh yes, because they had this. Yeah, because I think they were going after a particular, I don't know, a particular item. Now, I know they went after something called the Ember of Genesis. I know that was one thing they were going after, where I guess it helps replenish planets or something like that. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
What do you think about? Of course, you had the Collector, who looked like he was buffed up, and then you had and then of course you had Howard the Duck, who shows up a couple of times.
Oh my gosh! I now pronounce you
exactly.
What's her name? Darcy and
Darcy and Duck
and a duck
and a duck,
which is creepy and weird because I saw the original movie, which was also creepy and weird.
That was very creepy. Yes, I remember that also.
There's just things there that we just don't
know.
Let's not go there.
No, let's stay away from that. And I loved how who I like to call, and when I talked about the world's lost its mightiest heroes, it was kind of fun seeing how the Banner's Hulk just blew up, just. But what's funny about
green goo everywhere.
What's funny about it, gross. And what was really cool about it, though, as far as the episode, is that you really didn't. I had no clue who would have done it.
Yes.
And so you really you kind of have all these thoughts who it might be, and I that was the last who I was. He was the last person to be in there because he's he's not a major character.
Well, he's not a major character, kind of.
Yeah.
In the cinematic universe.
Yeah, Van Dyke. Yeah.
And as far as I recall, he has never donned the suit in the movies, has he?
He showed his suit, the suit that he
I was
had.
going to say there's a scene I remember in one of the movies.
There's a flashback.
They like
Okay,
pan across,
that's a flashback.
and you see the old school Ant-Man head piece thing, helmet. But so we've never seen him suited up, so we never expected him to be suited up.
Exactly.
And then there he is. But in the comics, he was the original Ant-Man. He was the original Wasp. Or, Yellow Jacket. Sorry, not
Yellow
Wasp.
Jacket.
He was the original Yellow Jacket. So going back to the comics, it doesn't feel quite so odd.
Yeah, exactly.
But here, it didn't. It was surprising. That was not what I was expecting.
So let me ask you, how do you feel about the way they tied it up? How they just at the very end? Do you feel like it was lacking, or did you feel satisfied, or what?
I don't have a super strong feeling either way. It wasn't. I thought it was a good ending. I thought it made sense. It all made sense. It wasn't over gratifying to me.
Yeah.
Seeing Killmonger turn on everybody was kind of like, well, you really still are a jerk. Really, still haven't learned your lesson.
But the funny thing, the Watcher knew this all. He knew how this was going to play, which I found was interesting. Yeah, he understood the whole time. Doctor Strange pointed it out. You knew how this all was going to end, which is kind of a weird predestination going into that kind of deal. Which anyway, but so. Of course, there's some things in it where, Peggy Carter wanted to go back during the time to be with her loved one, Steve. And, the Watcher says, no, we need you there. But it was a good thing because back on that captured ship by the pirates, she saw the Hydra Stomper with Steve Rogers supposed to be in there. You never see Steve, but he's in. They implied that he's there.
Yeah.
And then
well,
Natasha,
and that's actually a great callback to the original movie.
Yeah.
In that we have this, she gets shoved to the future and wants to go back.
Yeah.
Just like Steve gets shoved to the future and wants to go back.
So I thought that was pretty good. And of course, Natasha, the Black Widow, she didn't want to go back because she was the only one left in that world she was in, and she ended up being on a shield
world where they lost Natasha.
That was
a cool ending.
I thought that was a cool ending too. Overall, it was the same way. I didn't feel. I think it ended well. I mean, it was an ending. Okay, it wasn't an ending. I came away. It was an ending. I mean, nothing that I felt.
It wasn't unsatisfying, but it wasn't.
I didn't have
overly spectacular. Yeah.
And I think in the reality of it, the way What If is, it really can't. I mean, it kind of just has to play out.
Yes.
So it's a Rocky IV ending for you.
Yeah. No, exactly. So, but I think overall, I enjoyed it.
I think so.
I think there was a lot of criticism, a lot of critics, people. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun to say what if in the situations. It's just you're pretending and playing around with characters, and I thought it was fun. And sometimes at the end you were, you had situations that were not resolved. You thought, well, that would have been a great sequel, kind of like when I can't remember her name, Warmonger, what was it, Potts and let's see, Shuri go sees Pepper Potts and now
that could be an interesting story. And so that is here's my thought is, what if season 2 could take some of these strange endings like that one
and continue
and turn them into episodes.
Yeah. And you do it in each episode.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we could see a Peggy Carter, in the current time frame.
Yeah, exactly.
What happened to her while she's fighting the giant squid or something. I don't remember what the twist was at the end of the T'Challa was Star-Lord. We could see, we could see a new Nick Fury try to put a different set of Avengers together because all the Avengers are dead.
Exactly.
I don't know what you do with, with Doctor Strange, since he's just stuck in a bubble. Maybe you find a way for him to escape. But I think it's definitely possible you could spin some of these out into new episodes.
Yeah, you could. You would have to, depending how far in the future you would produce this, but you would somehow have to make a callback of the other episode if someone hasn't seen the first season or doesn't remember the first season. It's I don't know. You kind of like what you would do on a cliffhanger episode, and for the next season, you kind of do this little, this happened. But
so this is a what if I will throw out to you. I was thinking about this earlier today. Disney Plus made all these announcements.
Yes,
they are super vague.
Yes,
and some of them have no more information than we've ever had.
Yeah,
and one of them was Secret Invasion.
Yes.
And basically the only thing they kind of have confirmed is we're going to see an older, grayer version of Nick Fury.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And if Secret Invasion is what Secret Invasion was in the comics, that we're going to see Skrulls taking over the Marvel superheroes and capturing them and putting them away. I'm curious if Secret Invasion could be a way for Marvel to get Nick Fury to go build a young Avengers team.
That could happen. The funny thing about it, though, at the end of Spider-Man Away, Far Away, is that at the very end he was working with the Kree, or is it Skrull? The Skrull. And Skrull. So he was on the ship.
It's a weird deal, which kind of complicates things. So because I don't know what this is gonna. Are the Skrulls gonna suddenly become bad guys? And that could be, that could be a great what if episode. What if the Skrulls were the bad guys? Because right now they're not really.
Exactly. No, it's almost like it's
the Krees. The Kree are kind of jerks.
Yeah,
and the Skrulls are immigrants.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know. That popped into my head as a possible what if in the future, but I am hopeful.
I'm too.
For all of these Marvel properties, I'm hopeful for a season 2 of What If, and if Marvel comes through, my guess is we're going to see it faster than we expected to.
I think so too. I think
much like this one did.
Everything is strategic, they have to wait. Yep. They have to wait for, it's all placement. It's all strategy. Yes. One has to happen before the other one happens. And so I think that has been the biggest reason why we're kind of seeing some, main reason why we're seeing some delays. So,
but their animation stuff seems to happen really fast. Like the Star Wars animation stuff happened really fast.
Yeah.
The Marvel, the What If series happened really fast.
Well, but that doesn't really have to. Oh, Obi-Wan. Yes. Adria. I hate that. Not one of these days I'm going to say it right. But Obi-Wan I was disappointed. I was hoping that Obi-Wan was going to have I was hoping they were going to have a trailer.
Yes.
And I was very disappointed.
So I know we're about to wrap up the show, but I'm going to throw 2 things out, and one of them has to do with Obi-Wan.
Yes.
They kind of have one clip in this little retrospective thing. It's like the whole thing's only a minute and a half long, and most of it's Ewan McGregor on a stool talking about how excited he is about the show.
Yeah.
But there's like one clip that's like 3 seconds long that is Ewan McGregor in a brown, Jedi cloak.
Yeah.
But and there's like a CGI world behind him, but it doesn't look finished. It's really poor looking.
Yeah.
And that concerns me. Number 2 is we get half a shot of She-Hulk. We don't get a full shot of She-Hulk.
Yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't look finished.
No, it doesn't.
And it doesn't look good.
No. Hopefully that is not the hopefully that is not the final product.
So in both these instances, I'm hoping the reason we didn't see more is because it's not done yet, and they're going to work their tails off to make it look good.
Yeah, exactly.
Because right now, the little tiny clip of Obi-Wan doesn't look good, and She-Hulk doesn't look good.
No.
The CGI is not there yet.
No. No, it's not.
That is not on par for anything we've seen from Star Wars or from Marvel.
It's not. Well, I think they're in post-production now, aren't they, with Obi-Wan, or did they? Because I
believe so. I think they've finished shooting.
Yeah, so they should be in post-production right now.
So I was expecting to see more.
Yeah, I was too. Unless they're having a real issue.
I feel like somebody dropped the ball. You know, like they lost some files, or and it's like, what are we gonna do? I'm serious. It looked like somebody at the very last minute in a panic threw that together.
Yeah, just got Adobe Premiere pulled up, and they just slapped some clips together and put some music in the background.
Yeah. We got to have something for She-Hulk.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, I got this.
Well, when most of the content. When most of the content is from a show, Hawkeye, that's going to come out in a couple of weeks,
which does look great.
Looks great, but that's the only thing they have to present. I mean, as far as actual, content, trailer, or part of, the actual film of what the show's about, they don't have anything else, and so it's.
I'm afraid a lot of the things that they showed us. Are not even coming out in 2022.
And to be fair, I mean, it's been a challenge. It's been a challenge for the past 2 years. So, but I mean, you would think they would have a little bit more. Like, I mean, and there was really nothing. I mean, the Book of Boba Fett was the trailer that came out a couple of weeks ago, which was awesome.
Yeah,
but I don't think they really expanded on that, did they? I don't remember them extending on that at all on this
in this. No, the only thing we have is there is that little documentary featurette thing that's like 20 minutes long, that's about it's not about the Book of Boba Fett, it's just about the history of how Boba Fett came to be. At first he was supposed to be, he was going to be all white, and he was going to be like the advanced soldiers, the more, the better soldiers. And then they decided they didn't have the money to do that, so they painted him and made him a bounty hunter. It's actually a pretty cool little featurette. You should definitely watch it.
Yeah, okay, watch that. Well, I can't think of anything else, but
I don't have anything else.
But I'm looking forward to seeing Shang-Chi. And is it
Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is what I have been told by others. Shang-Chi.
So if you get a chance this weekend, if you have Disney Plus, watch it this weekend. Watch it sometime this coming week, because we will be back Friday night, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to do our review, and we're going to go over it. And of course, it'd be hard for us not to be spoilers, since we don't know how to keep secrets. And
very true.
Well, we get excited and we say things like school children, like we normally do. So, but anyway, have an opportunity to watch that. And this coming week, at the very end of the week, we'll do our review. Come join us, give us your opinion. Definitely, we'll have the man with the plan, the Florida man, and so anyway, and we might have another special guest. You just never know around this place, and we may have some more, carvings of sculptures that need to be removed. We may have, different mugs, and who knows?
I think we should end.
Well, let's end this. Thank you.
This has been the Speaking Nerdy podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Silly.
And my good friend and compadre, Mr. Ricky Poe. Well,
really? You had to call back to that?
I had to. Well, I can't help that. Well, yeah. I mean, why not? I mean, you know, it is what it is. And
it's the toilet humor to go with your mug.
Well, exactly. Oh, my.